Today, what would it really take to raise Bowser as a pet? No mods, no commands, no second chances. Just one mysterious spiked egg discovered deep inside an ancient forest. Still warm, still alive. Whatever was inside was already trying to get out. But Bowser wasn't the only one waiting for us. Alongside him were my Creeper, the giant blind Warden, and my loyal Iron Golem. 4 powerful creatures, 1 house, and absolutely no idea what was about to happen next.
It all started during what seemed like an ordinary walk. My team and I, Sparky the Creeper, the giant blind Warden, and my loyal Iron Golem were exploring a dense forest near our base. Then, the Warden suddenly froze. He'd sensed something. We cleared away the leaves beneath an old oak tree and found it. A massive spiked egg, covered in a thick, dangerous shell. We carefully carried the mysterious egg back home. It was heavier than anything we'd ever moved, and placed it on a warm rug in the living room. My pets gathered around it, watching with curiosity. Then, with a loud crack, the shell burst apart. Out crawled a tiny, but already very angry Bowser. Furious from the very first second, he let out a fierce growl, trying to prove he was in charge, before suddenly sneezing and releasing a thick cloud of black smoke from his nostrils. To lighten the mood, I dumped a huge pile of toys onto the floor. An avalanche of toys hit the floor. Sparky the Creeper immediately started rolling a ball around with his head. The Warden carefully felt the wooden blocks with his enormous hands, listening to the sounds they made. The Iron Golem gently picked up a plush pig, trying not to crush it with his metal fingers. Bowser grumbled at first, but when a bright red ball rolled right up to his feet, he couldn't resist. He grabbed it with his teeth and happily joined the others.
Yes.
To my surprise, they quickly became friends, spending the rest of the evening running around the house together like one big mischievous family. I never expected this. Each pet received its favorite meal. The Creeper got premium crunchy gunpowder, which he happily munched on. The Warden got a golden apple, swallowed whole with a deep, satisfied rumble. The Iron Golem got a special salad made from iron nuggets, decorated with fresh red poppies. He crunched through it with loud metallic bites. And Bowser, we prepared an entire feast. Raw beef, grilled fish, and even cake. But without hesitation, he chose a bowl filled with the hottest chili peppers.
Chili's my favorite.
Once everyone had finished eating, the pets curled up on the living room floor and quickly fell asleep. Outside, however, someone was watching. Hidden among the trees, a man wearing a red cap and a thick mustache quietly stared through the window at the sleeping Bowser.
Did you see that?
It was Mario. In the middle of the night, the entire house began to shake. Dust rained down from the ceiling. Bowser, who had been peacefully sleeping on the rug, suddenly started growing at an incredible speed. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. His shell expanded before our eyes, and his spikes grew as large as swords. Then came the sound of splintering wood. Bowser smashed straight through the ceiling with his bat, leaving the living room completely exposed to the night sky. I ran into the living room and froze. I covered my head as debris rained down around me. Through the massive hole in the roof, I could see nothing but stars. So, before sunrise, my entire team worked together to build him a massive outdoor enclosure. The Iron Golem stacked bricks faster than I could count. Together, we helped the Warden set the heavy iron gate in place. As soon as the gates opened, the sleepy giant slowly crawled inside, curled up on the stone floor, and immediately fell asleep again, snoring smoke into the night. The following morning, we headed to a nearby canyon so everyone could train. My whole team followed close behind. The Iron Golem practiced his punches, smashing old barrels into splinters with a single swing.
The creeper worked on controlled explosions, blasting apart small sand dunes, then happily bouncing through the clouds of dust. The Warden unleashed his deep, dark powers, summoning terrifying skulk vines from beneath the ground. Acid dripped from the vines, instantly melting through solid stone. For Bowser, I built him a gigantic cobblestone wall as a target. Then I stepped back and gave him the signal. He took a deep breath before unleashing an enormous stream of roaring fire. After returning home, I decided to give everyone another treat. But then, I made a terrible mistake. I threw a golden apple toward the Warden, but Bowser's jaws snatched it out of the air first. The magical fruit reacted with Bowser's fiery nature. His eyes glowed bright red. He lost control. Roaring with rage, Bowser began destroying everything around him. Trees snapped in half. Crop fields were flattened beneath his feet. The Iron Golem charged first, wrapping his massive arms around Bowser in an attempt to hold him still. But the furious Koopa King simply hurled the giant aside. He crashed to the ground, just inches from me. The Warden and Sparky rushed in together. The Warden grabbed Bowser's tail with all his strength, trying to anchor him in place. Meanwhile, Sparky sprinted around Bowser's face, hissing loudly to distract him. Together, they barely managed to slow him down. That's when I remembered an old chest filled with alchemy supplies. I threw it open, desperate for anything that could help. I grabbed a bright red mushroom with white spots, a classic super mushroom, and ran straight toward Bowser. He opened his jaws wide, ready to burn everything in sight. At the last possible moment, I tossed it directly into his wide-open mouth. The effect was immediate. He slowly collapsed onto the ground, released a small puff of ordinary steam, and looked calm. We all let out a huge sigh of relief. The Iron Golem straightened his dented armor. Suddenly, a familiar purple warp pipe burst from the ground in the middle of the ruined yard. Mario jumped out. Without saying a single word, he adjusted his cap. Bowser quietly stood up and stepped into the pipe after the famous plumber. The Iron Golem, the Warden, Sparky, and I stood silently in the middle of the destroyed yard. It had been one of the wildest adventures we'd ever experienced.